So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Before we move into our meditation today, I really just want to acknowledge that we've had have several new beginnings to mark. We are starting a new book of the Torah, Leviticus. We just had a time change marking a new season, spring, which doesn't feel like today, but it will. And we have a new month, Nisan, which is one of the new years in the Jewish calendar. There are, I think, 4 new years in the Jewish calendar, and this is one of them. And I hope I heard her correctly, but on Saturday at Shabbat services, I heard Rabbi Rachel say that the Torah was given in the first month of the second year of our wandering in the wilderness. I'm not sure if I heard that correctly, but that's what I took away. And this is the first month of the second year of our wandering in the COVID wilderness.
She said that.
So I just really wanted to acknowledge that and kind of lift it up a little bit. Next week, we will mark the 1-year anniversary of our weekly sits. So I don't know what we're doing yet to mark it, but we will, because it relates to today. So today, we're going to, as I mentioned, start the book of Leviticus. And I wanted to just read one paragraph from the Torah, a Woman's Commentary, that helps sort of frame the whole book. Leviticus reflects the perception that God's created world is fundamentally harmonious, good, and orderly. To preserve God's orderly world, where everything has an assigned place, Leviticus specifies what must be done whenever boundaries are wrongfully crossed, be they boundaries of the body, time, or space, such as between sacred and non-sacred, or between life and death. In this book's worldview, anyone who breaks God's ordained harmony can and must repair it. Rituals, including sacrifices, serve to cancel or neutralize damage done to the created order and thereby restore the equilibrium. So that's just a framing for the entire book of Leviticus, which is really challenging. This week's Parsha is Vayikra, and it focuses on the rituals around sacrifices, and it gets really specific. There are instructions for various types of sacrifices, burnt offerings, which are in praise of God, meal offerings, which end up as praise to God and a meal for the community, well-being offerings, which is a general thanks and appreciation. And then there are sacrifices for sin offering. And there are 2 main kinds of sin offering sacrifices. One for accidental violation of certain ethical and or ritual prohibitions. This, in the translation I use, which is the Women's Commentary, is called a purgation offering, meaning that it is a purification or a decontamination offering. The rules around these offerings emphasize accountability for one's actions, the taking responsibility. The other type of sin offering is a reparation offering, sometimes referred to as a guilt offering. The intention with this ritual is to repair the damage done in specific instances. The focus is on the nature of the transgression and the reparations, directly compensating those who have been harmed by the act. The important takeaway for me is the importance of rituals, the need to mark significant occasions, hence something next week, and the need to make amends for wrongdoing. So I think of the purgation offering as my carefully putting on a mask anytime I walk out of my house, or the very careful disinfecting I did at the beginning of the pandemic. I'm also impressed that thousands of years ago, the need for reparations was clearly laid out, and today, most Americans don't seem to understand the concept of really making repair before moving on. We also have wonderful rituals around offering appreciation and communal dining. Many of us are really missing the feeding of body and soul that happens when we dine together. Long ago, we gave up literal sacrifices and substituted prayer as a way to communicate with God. Prayer and meditation are not the same thing. They are, however, closely related in my mind. I think of prayer as speaking to the divine and meditation as listening for the divine's messages to us, listening to that still small voice within. As we sit together today, I invite you to bring a small dilemma or question to mind, and then focus on your breath as you allow yourself to be receptive. And maybe you'll discern some guidance. So let's take our seats. Feet flat on the floor, really feeling contact wherever it is that you're sitting. And noting your posture, nice and tall and erect with your head reaching up to the heavens as your bottom and your feet are really being supported by the floor or the chair or the cushion. And taking a few cleansing breaths, inhaling deeply and exhaling slowly and completely. And doing that twice more at your own pace. And now I invite you to bring to mind a question or dilemma that you're facing. Notice the sensation of maybe uncertainty or curiosity, possibly hopefulness or fear. Whatever comes to mind as you think of this question or dilemma. Allow these feelings to rest without judgment in your body, your heart, your mind. And you may want to really pay specific attention to where these feelings land in your body. Sit with that. And now I invite you to create an intention for this period of meditation. Perhaps something like, may the best outcome for this situation be revealed to me. Or may I come to some clarity around this situation. Whatever intention makes sense for you? And once you have this intention, let go of thinking about it and simply sit in meditation. An answer may or may not be revealed to you as you sit, and that's okay. And it may be that an answer comes to you later or not at all, ever. It's okay too. Simply allow whatever is percolating to percolate without forcing. And as your mind wanders, as always, simply return to your breath. And we will sit in silence now. As you are deepening your breath, and beginning to move a little bit, and returning to the room gently with yourselves, I'm going to read some words from Donna Fowles. I pray to stay open today, open to the unrestrained energy of now, open to mystery and power, open to whatever comes, open to routine and surprises, open to moving past my first reactions, open to my imperfections and the divine spark that underlies them, open to wonder and the everyday grace of life unfolding as it does, open to events and circumstances that I like and those I don't, open to fatigue and overflowing energy, open to listen and to speak, open to love in all the ways it manifests, open to give and to receive, open to seasons changing, priorities rearranging, nothing staying the same for very long, open to letting beliefs dissolve into the ether, open to the direct experience of truth, open to forgetting and remembering, open to life and open to death, open to seeing old patterns and letting them go, open to fear and courage, ease and difficulty. I pray to stay open. So with that, I will turn off the recording and invite us